What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Fosterman's video. This one is a simple order flow scalping setup. This is what I use every single day. Me and the group use it inside the Discord. If you're interested, you can go to the link in the bio. Anyway, what we're looking at is these order flow levels, okay? So these are actually called old potential plays, right? And I'll post these potential plays inside the Discord every single day. So what I will do is mark out all my old potential plays, post them in, and I will wait for a reaction. Okay, so how do I get these levels first? The way to get these levels is using order flow indicators. Okay, so I will look at a bunch of things like the naked points of control on the dailies. I will look at the naked points of controls over here. I will look at the value areas. I will look at the previous day VWAPs. I will look at a bunch of order flow indicators, and then I will refine those into my levels. Okay, so this is where the levels are, and you can see here, right? I left these on the chart. You can go back when you join the Discord. You can go back and see that I give all these levels in advance. Okay, so I'll show you these, for example. If we go actually all the way back here, it doesn't really matter, right? You can see if we go down right to the very first one. Look at these for reactions. Okay, so I'll go over these levels first, right? We bought here, bought again. Okay, so there's 2-3 buys just off this old potential play. Why do I keep it here? Well, because I know that there's buyers present inside the market. How do I know? Well, because every time we touch this level, we ended up getting a really nice buy entry. Okay, over here, look at this for level. Okay, we hit this level, got an amazing reaction from it, right? We broke with high volume, broke with high volume again, and now I want you to look at this. Okay, so here's the old potential play level, right? You can see here it's 3, 6, 7, 9, 8, and we look at this tap, it was 3, 6, 7, 9, 8 for the high of this candle. Okay, we tapped this and we got a perfect rejection. Not once, not twice, but 3 times we got an amazing retest. We hovered around it for a bit. We ended up testing this level down here, not once but twice. So you could have easily took shorts from here, closed them down here. Specifically, you're looking for these scalping opportunities. Okay, we're not going from here to here, right? We're just looking for scalps, nice, easy, quick scalps with a nice tight stop, right? Then we're looking at this level over here. Look at this. Okay, we broke with high volume. We touched it. We got an amazing reaction. We came back down to this level, got an amazing reaction. Came up to this new level. Okay, so there's actually 2 old potential plays over here. Came down to this, up to this level, got an amazing reaction. Came back down, got an amazing reaction. Look at this. We broke with high volume. We got a nice, beautiful retest. Okay, and the list goes on. I could probably talk about this for hours. About these levels. Okay, even right over here, right? We had the new open. Actually, remember this. This was like the new daily open. And we came back down, we broke with high volume, tested it once, tested it twice, and then shut off. Okay, how crazy is this? These levels are just insane. Look at this level, perfect reaction. Right over here, perfect reaction, okay? All these levels get amazing reactions, okay, every single time. And we're just getting perfect reactions. You can actually just see, this was just the recent one that I done today, that we got an amazing reaction down here, okay? That was perfect, okay? How do I trade this now? So what I will do is go over to my main chart. Now, if I just clean everything up here, okay, this is pretty much my main scalping chart. What I will do every day is come over here, take these levels, okay, so these are all the potential play levels. I will then move them over to this bottom corner chart. Once I have them over in the bottom corner, that is when I'm just waiting all day, in cases all day, sometimes only a few hours, right? But what I will do is wait until we come back down and get again a nice reaction. Okay, so it's so simple, right? So how am I going to use order flow to spot whether to get in and out of these trades? Okay, now this is actually probably one of the simpler cases, right? Is right over here. So I'll explain this VWAP level and how you could trade this using order flow. Okay, so mainly I'm looking at this big massive chart right over here. So this is the chart that I'm looking at. This is what I'm spotting with. I will quickly glance at this chart and this chart just to see the levels, okay? But mainly I'm looking at this one and this one, okay? What happens then is we'll watch this chart, we'll see that, okay, there's buying imbalances coming in. What is a buying imbalance? Okay, so if I just go in here, here's the settings for you guys. A buying imbalance shows me 400%, so 4 times more buyers than there are sellers, okay? So let me say that again. There's 4 times more buyers than there are sellers. Why does that matter? Well, because once we hit a level and we see that there's 4 times more buyers than sellers, what would be your first reaction? Okay, that is the simplest way to put this. Okay, this here, this whole chart is called the footprint chart. what we're doing is following the footprint of bigger traders. Okay, so the bigger traders are saying, we want to buy. How do we know this? Well, because there's 400% more buyers than there are sellers in this candle alone. We hit a key level. Let's say, for example, this VWAP down here. We hit this VWAP. We hit a bunch of buying imbalances coming in. Okay, now this is sending signals to me. I want to get into this trade. Now, where do you enter? Okay, it's very, very simple. You're looking at these buying imbalances, okay? And you're saying to yourself, well, there's a bunch of buyers here. They're going to protect me. If these buyers are really, really strong, they're more than likely going to protect me, okay? So what I'm going to do is maybe wait until we get a retap of this, put my stop loss just below this low. You can even be a little bit more conservative and put it towards the low, or you can be a little more aggressive and put it just below these imbalances, right? Because you're expecting these buyers to hold price. And where is your target? Well, your target could easily be this old potential play level. Okay, so if I just go over here and copy this potential play level right here, okay, there is pretty much no other area bar this potential play and these selling imbalances, right? You're looking at this. Look at these sellers, right? Straight away, all these sellers, we're getting a nice reaction off these sellers, right? These are selling imbalances. So what we're looking at is to find, and by the way, guys, you know, you might look at this as like a magic thing. It's not. It is really super duper simple. Obviously, as time goes on, you will be able to get better at this. But I wouldn't just use imbalances by themselves. I'm looking at the order flow as well, right? I'm watching how buyers are coming in, where they're coming in. Is there absorption, right? You're seeing a bunch of sellers at these lows right here. What sellers? These are trap sellers. Okay, so you're seeing a bunch of trap sellers. Why is this important? Well, because once they get out of their sell position, price is going to shoot up. Okay, because those sellers have to get into a buy. It's really, really simple that way, right? We're looking at this. Where is your target? Well, your target could be right at this level. I usually like to do just one tick below this level, just in case we get front run. It's really, really that simple. And you can look at this 6 to 1, 8.2 points just off this little scalp. Okay, you're in and out within 8 minutes. Okay, 8 minutes later, you're in and out of a position. That could be you one and done for the day. That's how easy and quick these levels are. Okay, of course, this comes with time, okay? You're going to need to study the charts, and you're going to really need to put in your chart time. You're going to need to watch these, and also you're going to need to have perfect levels, okay? These levels aren't random. They're not just some sort of random horizontal level sitting here like this, right? They're clear levels that are volume-based levels, okay? Then we're looking at the order flow. We're seeing are buyers stepping in or sellers stepping in, who's getting rewarded, all these sort of questions I would ask them myself as soon as we hit one of these key levels, okay? And you don't have to trade these key levels, okay? You might look at things differently, and as long as you have a context, as long as you have like your own base, maybe you're looking at some form of like ICT concepts, okay? Now, what I will go over next, and by the way, guys, if you want to learn more, just join the Discord. The link's in the bio, fostermans.com. And again, you know, we have all the educational material there. We have 40 plus episodes. I have my own strategy that I trade every single day over there. So what I was going to say was, when we're seeing some, let's just say, for example, fair value gaps, okay? What we're going to look at is some order flow indicators, okay? So I will, just a random thing I just found there now. You can see here, I'm going to assume this is one of those inverse fair value gaps, okay? Now, why is it that we would take this trade over maybe some other trades, okay? So let me just show you really quick. So if I just zoom right back over to here, okay? Now I could spot this already. This is a really nice trade. Why? Because look at this. We have a bunch of selling imbalances, okay? We have a bunch of selling imbalances. We have we have an inverse fair value gap, okay? And we have this level right here. What is this? This is going to be the POC of this candle, okay? So, this is just a really nice setup as well. So you're looking at this, and you can easily take this trade, right? It depends which way you want to build context, right? So you're looking at context building, okay? That is the main way to get in and out of trades, is building this context, okay? Mainly what we're looking at here is this fair value gap, right? So let's just say, for example, none of this happened, okay? You don't see anything on the chart. You're just seeing this, okay? You're just seeing the fair value gap get put in. Now what are you waiting on? Okay, you're waiting on to come back up and retest this, okay? Then what are you waiting on is maybe some order flow confluences. Some of them can be, okay? You're looking at this here. This could be, you can see right down here that you're seeing CVD exhaustion. Okay, so we're actually moving down and we're moving up here, okay? That's the CVD exhaustion. What we're seeing as well is we hit this POC, right? So you can easily get into a trade by looking at these order flow indicators, okay, and building a good trading system, okay? Over here, what else do we see? We see a bunch of trap buyers. We're seeing a bunch of buyers stepping in and not getting rewarded, okay? There's so many signs here to say get into this trade, right? Not only are we seeing exhausted buyers, we're seeing a bunch of order flow indicators like a bunch of trap buyers, okay? So we're seeing exhausted buyers, the buyers that don't even really want to buy, right? We're seeing a top of this level, which could be your entry. Your entry could be the POC right inside this inverse fair value gap. And then you're looking at trap buyers, you're looking at the exhaustion, you're looking at the POC as your entry point. Realistically, you couldn't have got better in this trade, right? And then obviously we got a really nice move to the downside. Okay, where's your targets? Okay, so where are you targeting? Well, I'm just going to say it's pretty much jumping out at you right now, but this is a buying imbalance, right? So we had a bunch of buyers stepping in here. Is this a target? Well, because these buyers will more than likely step back in. Okay, these buyers are probably going to get back into their trade. But how do we know this? We don't, and that's why we're watching the order flow, okay? This is why this is a really clean target. So let's just say, for example, we did enter off this POC, okay? We maybe had our stop loss above these highs, or you could have waited until the candle closed, okay, and put your stop loss above this high. There's a bunch of ways you can trade this. It really does not matter. And then you look at this, for example, we come back down. Let's just find this target. Okay, so our target's going to be just one tick above those imbalances. Okay, super easy, super clean trade. We're looking at 3.5 points just on that one alone. Really simple and really nice. So there is a bunch of ways, right? And it's back testing. Again, we have a journal inside the Fosterman's group. So you can use the journal to back test, forward test, and really gain a bunch of statistics. Okay, that's the main thing here is, will I enter off a POC? Will I enter off a candle close? Should I enter on the retest later? Should I enter off this? Should I enter off that, right? And then once you have a good statistics, once you have a good base of like, okay, I know this works 50, 60, 70, 80% of the time, I'm going to do this, okay? This is how I found out that trading, I would not be waiting until we fill an imbalance, okay? Because look at this, okay? Like, even though maybe this example, we did fill this imbalance, a lot of times we don't fill the imbalances. We'll maybe come in, we'll tap them, and then we'll go away from the imbalances, okay? Like right down here, okay? We hit this imbalance, and then we went away. We hit this imbalance, and then we went away, okay? So this is why I don't really like waiting on the fill. But these are statistics that you can use and you can find yourself, right? So hopefully this video wasn't too long, pretty much just explaining how you can look at order flow in a different way, how you can incorporate it within your own system. Again, what I will do every single day is find my daily bias. Then I will find my potential play levels. Then I will wait on my reaction. And if I get my reaction, then I will enter. Okay. It is really that simple. Of course, I have made it a lot more simple for you guys by posting in the bias builder every single day, by posting in the potential plays every single day. So you can just copy those levels, but I don't recommend it. What I do recommend is for you guys to do your own potential plays, do your own bias, and then test it against mine. Do we have the same bias? Do we have the same potential plays? If so, this is really cool. This is really nice. And this is why I like trading this way, is because a lot of the people inside the group will also benefit from this, okay? So that's pretty much just my 2 cents on how I would look at order flow. It can get really, really simple like this, okay? And maybe if it's something you're interested in, I can review some of my trades that I take and we can go over that as well. But I would appreciate it, guys, if you liked, subscribed, and leave a comment below on what you want to see next. And of course, if you found value in this, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.